Today, we're going to talk about how models are used in science. Different kinds of information can be shown using different types of models. For example, an architect might draw pictures to show what a new building will look like before it is built, but he would need to build a three-dimensional or 3D model to test how stable the design actually is. Other types of models include maps. Maps are models that show directions and distances. Maps may also show physical features like landforms, roads, towns, and even buildings. Watershed maps are drawings of watershed models, and they help show the terrain of the area, like hills, ravines, crests, and valleys. Globes can show the whole Earth without distorting or changing its shape. Concept maps are drawings, such as flowcharts that can be used to show the relationships between ideas. We use concept maps a lot in science, and they help to organize our thoughts and ideas. Dioramas help to represent an ecosystem in 3 dimensions. Remember those shoebox projects you did in elementary school? You've probably made a diorama at one point, or definitely at least seen one. Terrariums and aquariums. Well, like dioramas, terrariums can be used to model ecosystems. But unlike dioramas, terrariums contain living organisms, such as plants and animals. They also contain soil, air, and moisture. Computer models can be used to model the positions and movements of objects in 3 dimensions. For example, a computer model could show how the planets in the solar system orbit the sun. Models are used in many different ways, especially in the field of science. Some models show how something looks on a scale that is easy to see. You may have done this in elementary school too, where you make a model of the solar system with string and foam balls to show the relative positions of the sun and planets in a form that's small enough to be seen easily. Some models are used to demonstrate how something works. Like using a water pump as a model of a human heart shows how the heart functions, with the atria and the ventricles pumping the blood. This makes the idea of the circulatory system easy to understand. Models of systems should be appropriate and simple. Models can also help to analyze and predict what will happen in the real system. For example, a terrarium filled with plants and water creatures can be used as a small-scale model of an actual ecosystem. This ecosystem can be used to analyze and predict how the small organisms behave in their natural habitat. It can also be used to find out how organisms in the natural habitat will react to changes, such as when pollutants are present. Models use familiar objects. Well, they help to explain new things. Simple as that. For example, the Earth can be compared to a peach. The pit in the center of the peach is like the core of the Earth. It's a dense solid found in the middle of the object. The flesh of the peach is like the Earth's mantle because it is in the middle and takes up most of the space in the fruit. And the skin is like the Earth's crust because it's on the surface of the fruit. It also takes up the least amount of volume in the fruit. Models do have their limitations, though. All models have limitations or ways they are not exactly like the real things they are modeling. A model could be different from the thing it's modeling in many ways. It could be smaller or larger, made of different materials, or missing some parts or details. Someone can make a very good model of a riverbed, for example, out of a baking pan and pebbles and some running water. Even though this might be a very good model, it's still much smaller than a real riverbed. All models have some limitations, no matter how good or useful they are.